Tell my voice is a bit raspy. I was in Michigan on vacation and I picked up a summer cold that has stuck with me now for like 3 weeks. So I'm still trying to shake it a bit, but I didn't want to miss the opportunity to come and share this fun project that I have for you. So I'm going to look in here and say hi to you guys. I'm so happy you're here. Hi, Miss Pat. I'm so glad you're here. And oh goodness, look at Miss Tracy is in here. Hello, Tracy and Robin. I know Corey was in here. Declan and Gladys. Hi, Miss Lois. Yay! So I've gotten a thumbs up from my crew back there that our stream is good and all is well. So that certainly makes me happy. It has been a little while since we've been here. Just, you know, kind of crazy life events with my father passing away in April. And then when we came back, we had kind of that 2 weeks of chaos. And then we ended up going back and I was preparing and planning his memorial. And then we had a little mini family vacation. And then upon getting home, as we were driving home, I came down sick. And Miss Amanda ended up getting COVID. So, but we're doing a lot better now. And we are all doing so much better and so glad to be with you. So thank you for joining me. Now, Miss Amanda is in the chat. And so if you see it when she's chatting, it says Brandy's Cards. She's going to help me answer some of your questions. So you can certainly say hi to her in there as well. Hello, Miss Patricia and Kelly. Oh my gosh, and Miss Kim. Miss Kim, oh my goodness. So Miss Kim posted on my Brandy's Cards Facebook page that she creates, what, was it 2,000 cards this year? Was that right? Did I get that number right? For donations and for her ministries and charities. So that was amazing. And I was like, wow. So just, you know, thank you for all that you do and for all of those paper hugs and blessings that you're sending in the mail. Phenomenal. Hello, Miss Luann. Oh gosh, I hope that you are doing well and enjoying your time with Liz this summer. Luann's daughter, I think this will be her sophomore year in college. And so my oldest is leaving for college here in August. So it'll be my first one that's fleeing the nest. So anyway, I'm so happy everyone is here. So you guys, it's so funny. I wish that I could show you some behind the scenes. So as we were getting all prepared, we're totally like, okay, we got this. It's been a little while. We're a little rusty, but we're so excited. So we have everything plugged in. And the next thing you know, my phone will not connect. And so it's like, oh geez, what happened? Is there an update? Did I miss something? So my phone wouldn't connect. And then next thing you know, Amanda's like, bah! And her computer just all went with squiggly lines and just kind of went crazy. And then as she's dealing with that, she knocks over her water and it goes flying across the room. And then my husband's like, oh my gosh, we got to use my phone. And so then he's disconnecting his phone, reconnecting it to me and changing the positions. And it was a comedy show. Meanwhile, I was excited that I was trying to come up with, well, I wanted to share with you that we're going to do a faux wood burning. And the word is called pyrography. I think I said it. I'm not going to try it twice. But I actually went to, here, I'm going to go ahead and play it for y'all. I went to Google, and I'm so grateful for Google. Here we go. I don't know if you... Pyrography. Do you guys hear it? I don't know if you can hear it or not, but I had to type, like, how do you say this word? Because, you know, I knew that I probably wouldn't say it right, but it is really, really neat. It's a unique way of artistic, it's like a unique and artistic method of decorating various surfaces, and one of them is wood. So today we're going to do that. We're going to create cards with the focal point is going to look like it is burned into wood. It's super easy to do, and so I was super excited about that. Lori says, oh goodness, lucky you made it on tonight. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. It is so fun, and you just never really know. You just have to roll with the punches. But we are here, and we are super excited that you are and that we can craft together tonight. So why don't we go ahead and get started, and then I'm going to share some things along the way with you. I've got 3 cards for you tonight, actually 4. I don't know that we're going to get to them all, but I do have them for you. I also have PDF tutorials available for you to download on brandyscards.com/blog. blog. So you're going to want to go to my blog, and I have those tutorials right there for you to download. We work really hard to make those as accurate and as easy to follow as you can. Miss Amanda is fantastic and helping me, you know, the way I say things, and then she's like, okay, so I think it would be better like this. And so she just makes it really eloquent and really nice. So definitely go and download those tutorials for your idea and inspiration book. Hi, Janine. It's good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. And Becky, Miss Denise. Oh, goodness, Miss Denise. I can't tell you how many times Amanda and I think about the 5-gallon bucket. We won't tell anybody what that story was about, but you are just a gem, and we laugh about that all the time. Hello, Miss D. And Loretta. Loretta, I've got the most beautiful card here from you, and I'm excited. I'm hoping to have time to share some of these cards that I recently received. I love getting your cards in the mail, so thank you for that. Okay, so let's come over here. This is the stamp set that we're going to use today. This is called Grassy Grove, and it's one that you should be fairly familiar with. We're going to use, to make this card today, we're going to use early espresso, and you're also going to want a water painter. Now we have 3 different water painters. We've got kind of the more of the smaller paintbrush, and then we have a larger paintbrush, and then or brush tip, I guess you should say, and then we have kind of the wider one. So these are the 2 that I'm going to use today. And I also have just a little bitty cup here of just water, just a wee bit of water. It actually makes me nervous to have it on my space because I am quite clumsy, but yes, exactly, especially after Amanda just dumping hers across the room. But at any rate, I do have that here, and sometimes I find that with those water painters, it's quite nice to just, instead of having to squeeze them, sometimes it's nice just to pick up water from the little cup. I find sometimes it's harder on your hands until you kind of get those guys broke in, right? So anyway, that's what we're going to do. And then the other thing that you're going to need is this Fluid 100 watercolor paper. So do you need this particular paper? Not necessarily. This is what we sell with Stampin' Up. However, if you have some watercolor paper, you could certainly give it a try. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull in some of our goodies here. And without further ado, we are going to totally get started. I have been so excited to show you this. So the last 2 weeks I have been pretty darn sick, and it's funny because I started working on this project and I was so excited about it. And how many of you can relate? You're so excited about a project and you're working on it and you kind of get the idea of it, and then you just sort of are like, oh, you just don't have any energy, you're not feeling well, the creative juices just come to a screeching halt, and you just kind of like, nah. Well, let me tell you what happened. I think it was Monday when Amanda came in this week, and she came into the craft room and she said, okay, listen, there is this pile of like goodness sitting over there, and I want to know what are you doing? Like, what is this project you're working on? And again, I didn't get anything past this. This is the pile that I'm going to show you that she saw. And it had all of my little examples, and I said, oh, well, I'm just working on this technique. I just really liked it, but I couldn't pull it together, and I just wasn't feeling well. And she said, girl, you are onto something, and I want you to work on that and bring that to life. You've got this. And sometimes you just need that cheerleader in your corner, or you just need to have, put stuff away and go back to it another time, right? And it's really interesting how when, the creative juices are flowing, how you can bring that together. So, all right. Oh, Denise Streitman has already noticed my fingernails. Yes. Do you guys see? Those are the real Brandy special. Now, it's only 8 out of 10. I figure I need 2 that I can still, Anyway, there's 2 that didn't make it, but I have 80% is definitely a passing rate, right? In school, I think that would give me a B. So I'm pretty excited. Thank you for noticing that. I was wondering how long it would take, but the real question is how long will they last? So that's the real question here. So, okay, so this is Old Olive. Let's just get started with this first card. The first card we're going to make is using the Grassy Grove. And I also have this stamp set here. Many of you may have seen it. It's from our online exclusives sets. Frosted Forest. It also has dies and it has the masks as well. But we're not going to use any of that today. We're going to just use the stamp set. And I'm going to, kind of create my background. You guys know that I am a big background person. I love designer paper. But I think sometimes I love being able to do my own thing more. I like the flexibility of and the opportunity to kind of think outside of the box and get really kind of, creative with my stamps and so forth. So let's see, I am going to kind of come up here because I do kind of want it to kind of go up the side. And so this is Old Olive. I'm hoping that I don't get a cough attack. So this is Old Olive that I'm using, and I'm just stamping it on Old Olive as well. So I'm just going to clean this up because in my luck, I'll forget that it wasn't clean and use it on that last card. Okay, so I'm just going to set that aside here for a second. And now what we're going to do is, I love texture. Those of you that watch my channel, you guys know how much I love texture. And I love to come up with different ways, different things. And I love to wrinkle stuff. I love to, I miss the, oh gosh, what is that thing where you roll the paper through and kind of get all the different texture? Gosh, can't think of the name of that right now, but I love to do different things to my cardstock. And I always love to do things like that for Creative 8, for our Creative 8 retreats, our online stamping retreats. So I always try to think of things outside of the box to get your wheels spinning in hopes that you're going to go in the craft room and create with what you have at home. And so that is one thing that I love about our Creative 8 retreats. Now, let me show you this. I just crinkled this up. The more you crinkle it, the tighter you get it crinkled, the more wrinkles and things you're going to have in it. So have a look here. Oh, isn't that the most perfect piece of cardstock? You guys are like, oh, she's crazy. Yeah, maybe a little bit, but I do like it a lot. And so a couple of different things that you could do. You could take a sponge, right? And you could add some, kind of sponge stuff on here. But what I'm going to do is just use the side of my aqua painter or my water painter. And I just want to highlight some of these grooves. And when I say grooves, I think the more accurate thing would be the wrinkles, right? And so it just kind of, it gives it more dimension, like, hey, I am wrinkled and I am not perfect. So that is what I love, because it doesn't have to be perfect. So that's what I'm going to do here. Now I do have Old Olive. I've got water on my water painter. I am not squeezing it, just FYI. No, not squeezing it, not bringing any water out at all. I am just kind of, highlighting some of these different areas. Now, while I do that, I want to remind you that the Creative 8 retreat, since I did mention that, registration is still open. And for those of you that have registered, I'm so excited that you're planning on joining us. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm super excited to share with you the projects that I created, and I know the other ladies are excited as well. The retreat is coming up July 26th and 27th. So the 26th and the 27th, which is actually next weekend. So make sure you get registered. Each Creative 8 leader does have their own registration, their own unique registration. So if you haven't already registered, I would be grateful if you would consider registering with me. The event is 2 days. We start on Friday night, and I'm super excited because I think I get to go live on Friday night per the schedule, and then again on Saturday. So it's a full day. We provide you with full PDF tutorials that you can download, and the supply list is available to you as well. That's new for us. This year we decided, okay, we're gonna, give you guys a supply list. And the only reason that we hadn't done that in the past is because we don't want you to purchase anything else. We want you to use what you have at home. We want to inspire you with the projects that we create, in hopes that you'll be able to pull any stamp set off of your wall, designer papers, and that sort of thing. So that's why we never gave you, in 4 years of retreats, we never gave the supply list. But on popular demand and many asks, we decided to go ahead and do that. So if you haven't gotten it yet, you should have. If you've registered with me, I've emailed it. If you didn't get it, just go to my BrandysCards Creative 8 webpage where all of your projects are, and you'll be able to download it from there, okay? All right. And of course, if you have any questions about Creative 8, you can email me at support@brandyscards.com. And you can also register at BrandysCards/Creative8. All right? Okay. So this says, couldn't wait for the retreat, but I will have to watch it later. She's got a class. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. Well, you absolutely can enjoy it later. Miss Loretta says she loves the retreats. That makes my heart so happy. Thank you for loving them and for sharing and joining us. And Melissa, hey Melissa, I'm so glad you're here. I hope you're having a good day and feeling well. I'm so happy you're here, and I'm so excited for your first retreat. Get ready for lots of giggles. We definitely have some laughs that generally, kind of like today when when nothing would turn on and things just happen, right? Okay, so enough of my little chit chat here. I'm going to go ahead. I've got early espresso. I'm just so happy to be back with y'all. I feel like it's been a long time. Just kind of with all of the curveballs that life has thrown me in the past couple of weeks. Okay, so here we go. Well, it looks like that piece, did I make that one a little small? No, actually it works great. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just add some liquid adhesive behind this. And now keep in mind that when you crinkle it, it does kind of get smaller. Yeah. So, and I really, I like all of the crinkles, so I'm not gonna like totally flatten it. I do kind of like it uneven, crinkly, that sort of thing. Now, for those of you, I know Melissa's in here and she's, does some scrapbooking and that sort of thing. I just think that type of texture would be fabulous in your scrapbooking as well. I love that sort of thing a lot. Okay. So here we go. Let's move on. Here is my watercolor paper, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp on that and kind of show you what I did here. So Grassy Grove, let's see, where's my tree? So I need my tree, I need my deer, and I need my sentiment. Now here's the deal. You're going to want to make sure that your early espresso is good and inked, right? You don't want, if you don't have a lot of, good ink, then it might not blend quite as well. The other thing that you should keep in mind is that if you can just add a little bit of re-inker, just kind of get it nice and juicy, okay? So here we go. I'm going to ink up my tree, and actually that's not the tree I want to use. Yeah, actually it is. Okay, yeah. So here we go. So I'm going to ink up this tree, and I am going to stamp this right here on my watercolor paper. Okay. Wow, that tree is crooked. Is it crooked? Yeah, he's kind of going, let's just try him again. It might not help that I have it mounted sideways on my block.
It's on a hill.
It's on a hill, yes. That is definitely one way to look at it, So here we go. Let's try it again. Oh yeah, that's a bit straighter. Okay. So again, inking that up really, really good. And I probably think I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to move to my sentiment so that I make sure that I have my spacing right, and then I can add my deer. So sometimes you just need to know that someone really cares. All right, and so then over here, we're going to add our other trees. Now, do you see I got a sploogey here? Well, we can fix that. I could put a tree there and it just looks like a part of the tree line. Yeah, so how cool is that? So don't get too caught up in that type of thing, right? There's always ways to fix things, okay? So I'm just gonna add some more trees over here. Perfect. And I might just add one down here as well, just to kind of, you know, just to have a little bit more there. All right, so up next is gonna be our deer. So I'm gonna just move that aside so you can see better. And I'm gonna ink up my deer really, really good. And we're just gonna push straight down and straight up. And so here is a reason right here that you would probably, you know, it would be nice if you had a placement, a stamping placement tool, because then you could go back over this, right? Being it's not photopolymer, I'm probably not going to go back over it, but I think what we can do is we can make it work. So I have my, my water painter here. I have my little bit of water. So I'm just gonna clean that off. Of course, you can just squirt it off, right? And just make sure it's clean. But we wanna make sure that there's no green because we did use that for the background. And you know what? I need to bring my computer over to see if y'all have any questions. Carmen says she's excited for next weekend. Oh, that makes me happy. We are super excited too.
And they also helped us out, and it was a paper crimper.
Oh, a paper crimper. Yes, that is what I'm talking about. Years ago, Stampin' Up sold that little guy, and I loved it. Oh my gosh, I loved it. Okay, so when you're doing this, what you want to do is you want to kind of bleed the image or bleed the outline. All right, so we might have to zoom in just a little bit. And the good thing is, you know, we want a little bit of white, right? So you want a little bit of the white. I kind of go back and forth, right, with some wispies. I am not squeezing my aqua painter because if I do, I'm going to get a blob. And I don't know if you're going to be happy with the blob. Maybe if that's like the blob effect you're going for. But if not, then you're going to want to, just dab it off, okay? And the other thing is it's going to take a little bit of practice to kind of get the feel for what you're trying to do. All right. Now you see here, I didn't use a placement tool, but the nice thing is because I am blending this, look at that. Just if I kind of go in my deer, yeah, do you see that? It just sort of all blends. So it doesn't really matter. You know, it doesn't really matter at all. So I'm just sort of doing some wispies. I don't want it to look perfect. I want it to kind of look like it got burnt into the paper. So that's what I'm doing here. And I also don't want you to be scared of white space. White space is your friend. It's okay if some of the image has white. Okay, do you guys see? I know it doesn't look very exciting yet, but I promise you it will come to life. And so then let's go over to our tree. And so the same thing with your tree. Now when you're doing this, keep in mind you don't want this to get muddy. And I'm going to show you an example of something when I first started that got muddy. And I think it's good for you to play and to use some scrap, you know, scrap watercolor paper, because that's how you learn, right? So that's how you learn. That's how I learned to do what I've, you know, my projects for you today. So it's not a bad thing. So just kind of get in there and give it a go and see what happens. And if you have some like little scrap pieces, that's kind of where I would start. And when I talk about white, I do kind of like not having the whole thing and just kind of leaving some white space, right? So here you can kind of see I'm leaving some white in the trees as well, and just kind of working my way around the outer portion of my image. Okay, and so let's kind of finish up over here. Yeah. All right, so I'm just kind of finishing that up, and we're just kind of adding a bit more color. Now, one thing is if you said, okay, well, I kind of want it a little darker, or I wish you know, I'm not blending really well, you can always kind of tap your early espresso stamp pad to kind of add a bit more color, right? Just be careful because it's going to be quite a, you know, it'll be more of a, what do I want to say? Saturated color, and so it'll be quite dark. Now the other thing that I want to show you is if you're like, okay, well I don't kind of like it too squiggly, well just put a little water on your aqua painter and you can sort of, or water painter, and you can kind of sort of blend or bleed out some of that. So don't get too caught up in that, because that can be fixed, you know, if that's bothering you. And then with the sentiment, it's the same thing. But with the sentiment, I liked when I kind of, in a sense, pretended like I was doing the sentiment as it is, like cursive, if you will. And then it just kind of flowed a little bit better, and it didn't make it look quite as muddy. Okay, so here, let me show you what that looks like. There you go. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to bring in my embossing folder, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's the Timber 3D embossing folder, and it's the one that has kind of the wood to it, right? Kind of that wood grain look. And so what I ended up doing is taking a clean water painter, and I just basically took and added more water around the kind of the images. Now, why am I doing that? Well, because in my head, if I saturate that watercolor paper a little bit more, well, it's going to hopefully take on that wood grain, you know, like a deeper impression. So that's kind of my thinking there, because remember, you know, we used to spritz cardstock and things like that. So that's kind of my thinking there. All right, so I'm going to kind of push my computer over here to the side, and I'm going to go ahead and emboss this for you. So I have my cut and emboss machine, and I have my, this is one of our 3D folders. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that on there, and we're going to go ahead and run this through and see what we get. Yeah. So, and of course, if you want to run it back through, you can. I generally don't, but because I'm like, really want that impression to be like, whoa, I probably will. So I'm just going to set my machine over here, because we may use it one more time on one of our other projects. So I just want to make sure that I can see our chat up there. Oh, is there somebody's birthday in here?
Yes.
Yeah, whose birthday is it?
Patricia Zepp.
Well, happy birthday, Miss.
Arnold Gallagher. They will be, they're going to miss the retreat for their birthday, but they're going to catch the replay.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
They're
Well,
getting an excuse.
happy birthday, my friends. I'm super excited for y'all. That's awesome. That's awesome. As a matter of fact, I talked to a young lady today, and she said, yeah, she said, my husband, I'm calling you because I want to place a quick order. My husband's birthday is in September, and he ordered his birthday presents early. So I was thinking that I might get some birthday presents early for my birthday in September. So I just thought that was super cute. And so Anna, happy early birthday. And I know she's going to be so excited when she gets her goodies. Okay. And so Pamela says that would work with a Wink Estella pen too. So yeah, I'm not totally sure if that would work with a Wink Estella pen or not, but you can absolutely give it a try for sure. Okay, so now one thing I noticed, because I was chit-chatting and talking, is, which honestly, I think when it comes to crafting, there's no mistakes, there's learning opportunities. And so when you, when you emboss, if you have the Stampin' Up logo at the top, then you are going to get kind of the raised grooves, right? And then if you have it, if you emboss it with your image facing up and the logo facing down, well, then you get kind of the grooves. So I really like it either way, honestly. And I already have an example of the other direction, so I'm pretty okay with it that I did it the other way. Okay, so here's the deal. When you're doing this, just be careful, right? And kind of make sure that your brush or your water painter, you don't have a ton of ink on there. But what I want to do is I like to kind of, on the side of your water painter, you're just sort of brushing it. Now, do you see what that's doing as I brush it? So my whole purpose in doing that is because I want to give the illusion of, okay, this is wood, it's not perfect, and there's some grooves in it, and to kind of really make it that much more believable that this is, that this is a wood, wood image. Now, I've not done it on this side, So let's give it a go. I mean, what's the worst that could happen, right? So do you see that? See how nice that looks? Looks really, really nice. So, and you just, again, be very ginger. And of course you can do as much as you want or as little as you want. It's entirely up to you. And so again, it's just, you know, and because it is, you know, this is not the raised side, it definitely is a little bit harder to kind of pick up just what I'm looking for. So just keep that in mind as you decide. But I think it turned out great. What do you guys think? I hope you like it. I've had so much fun creating these, and I still have another one to show you. So here, let's go ahead and add some Stampin' Dimensionals right behind here. And let's get this added to our card. And we also have some twine to put on there. And I'll show you the inside as well. I had fun decorating the inside. Grandma Jane knows, and those of you that attended the Creative 8 retreats, you guys know how much I like to decorate the insides as well, right? So that is always fun. And you know what? Let's go ahead and just put our twine on here, because if I don't, then I will just be having too much fun and I'll be chatting with you and I will forget because that's what I do. So here we go. I'm going to just go ahead and tie this really, really quick. And I think that I want it to finish on the right-hand side.
I'm loving it, Brandy.
Oh my goodness. Miss Amanda said that you guys are loving my project tonight. That makes my heart so happy to know that I've inspired you and have gotten you ready for a creative weekend. So thank you for sharing that. And if you haven't done so already, I would be so grateful for any likes, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please be sure to do so. We are super excited. We've got a four video series. Oh yes, the 4 video series. I need to tell them. Oh gosh, yes. Okay, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you because I'm going to spill the beans. Okay. So a part of that creative weekend when I was sick, the last 2 weekends that I couldn't make anything happen, there was another pile of cards that in my head I had a progression and I was so excited about them. And that also was a pile that Miss Amanda looked at and she said, oh my gosh, these are amazing. And I just was like, I was at a loss. And she said, you need to pull these together because I think everybody would love them. And so that's what I did. And I came up with 4 different videos. And when I say different videos, we're going to start with the, if you're not familiar with these enamel effects, they are fabulous. And you can get, they come in 2 packs. And there's 3 in each pack. Okay. So I'm just going to bring this over here. That's going to throw us off. That's the same color. Do I have all of them? Yeah. Okay. So they come in the metallics. So you've got silver, gold, and copper. So that's how they come in the first pack. And then in the second pack, they come like this. Now, those of you that have purchased with me before, a few months ago, gosh, I can't remember what the card looked like, but a few months ago, I shared some pictures of me using the pearlized one and making the gems. And many of you emailed me and said, okay, those were really cool little gem sparkly pearls. Where did you get them? I loved it because it was like flat but raised. And anyway, that's what this was. And so as I started working with this product, I thought, oh yes, I can show you 4 different ways to use this on your card making. And so I'm so excited. So the first one, stay tuned. If you aren't subscribed to Brandy's Cards, be sure to do so. We have the Creative 8 retreat next weekend. And I was hoping to come to you live to kick it off. So we might have to do it another night. We haven't totally figured that out yet with soccer on the radar as well. So just hang tight with me, but we will definitely send you an email. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you go to BrandysCards.com and subscribe so that you're notified. And of course, we will send an email. But I keep going, should I tease the card? Should I show it to you? Yeah. Amanda's over there going, yeah. Okay. So if I show it to you, I hope that, I hope you know that there's a lot more to come. Yeah. So at least 3 different cards in each video, and they're all different. So here, let me just move this aside. And let me show this to you. All right, so this is the first one. I'm gonna bring it up a little bit closer. Yes, this is enamel effects, but I'm not going to give you any more details. And here I made my own little background. And there's a couple other details on here I'm not going to point out quite yet. You have to wait and come see me for my enamel effects 4 video series. And a couple of the ways that we use it, it actually dries pretty darn quickly. So you don't have to set it out for very long. Can't hardly wait to share that with you. It's coming soon. All right. So I'm going to just go ahead and snip this off. And oh, isn't that just the cutest little bow? Sometimes they work out nice and sometimes they're like wonky. All right, so here, this is my deer, and I'm gonna add him right to the front. Oh, how beautiful is that? So here, let me show you up just a bit closer. So remember, we did one with the positive of the embossing folder, and then this one is actually the negative. They both are beautiful and they both look really, really nice. So there you go. So this is kind of, and again, you can see this one, I didn't kind of burn it in quite as much. I didn't blend it as much as I did this one. It's entirely up to you, but it does take practice. But what you have to be careful for is that you don't get it muddy. So here is, this is a leaf that I did. So let me just show you some of these and then we'll move on to one more card. Yay, Miss Susan says she's excited for the enamel effects. I'm excited to share that with you. And so Miss Vicky Steele says she thinks it's beautiful. I'm so happy. Miss Vicky, I can't wait to hug you at my BWE event, my in-person BrandysCards World Card Making event. We still have some spaces if anybody is interested. It's going to be October 4th and 5th, and it's going to be here in Concord, North Carolina. Also pretty much Charlotte, and it is going to be a blast. We are going to have fun. We're going to make some jewelry. We're going to make some ornaments. We are going to have a big time. Of course, there'll be lots of card making, lots of fun. So I can't hardly wait. If you are interested in joining us, if you go to brandyscards.com/ our BWE event, you can see all of the details, and we'd love to have you join us. We also have a room block for those of you that are traveling. So, but check this one out. What do you guys think of that? Isn't that beautiful? This one I think was Amanda's favorite. She really liked this one a lot. And this is that background stamp, right? I believe. So can you imagine? I mean, how pretty that would be on a Christmas card? Oh, yes, my wheels are spinning. So I'm so grateful that Amanda brought me back around full circle. Okay. So let's just finish this one up. I'm going to show you the inside. I don't think I'm going to make it for you because I want to show you the bird real quick. But I just stamped my old olive, and then I added my basic white, and then I added this textured dot. These textured dots are amazing. I absolutely love these things. I don't know how well you can see it up close, but they're pretty phenomenal. I don't know. I just really like those things. They're really neat. Great for masculine cards for sure. Okay, so the next one I'm going to show you really quick here is, and I say really quick, I'm not sure that I do anything really quick, but I'm so happy that you are here, and I hope that you're having fun. So if, let's see, I'm just looking down here. Vicky says, I think I do get her emails. I get on the one for the event. Is there more? Yeah, so if you're getting emails from me, then that is perfect. You will definitely be notified. And of course, you can subscribe to me on YouTube as well, and YouTube will notify you too. So not to worry there. And again, if you haven't done so already, please be sure to give me a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. All right, so here, this is my bird. I love inspirational sketches. If, I actually meant to grab it, but I did not. I meant to grab it. I did those cards using the paper bag, the grocery bag. So if you haven't had a chance to see those as the background, they turned out amazing. So definitely have a look at that. But for right now, this one is the one that I chose to do here. So again, I don't think I'm going to put the whole card together for you, but I am going to give you kind of a sneak peek as to how I did it, all right? So this piece here, I basically took and scrunched it all up. Yeah, back to my scrunching. But it's funny because on this one, I thought, okay, well, I love it scrunched. I do. And I loved adding the color or texture. And you know, you can take your stamp pad, right, and kind of go over that as well, or your sponge. So you guys know that. But I thought as I was doing it, I noticed my paper fibers were breaking apart. And I thought, oh, I love that. Because it gave it that more artistic feeling to it. And so that made me happy. And so by doing that and kind of getting it nice and, you know, kind of breaking those paper fibers down, this allowed me to, you know, kind of pull it apart. So let me show you under the camera. And with fingernails, it makes life so much better. I can laugh at myself because y'all know that this is a really big feat for me and a really big deal. So I'm super excited, even though I still have two that are, oh dear. Well, you know, honestly, my toes are doing really good and my toes are painted and pretty. So I guess that's like, you know, 20. So it's only like 2 out of 20. So I guess we're doing pretty good. All right. So I'm just going to show you, so I was just showing you how I pull this apart and you can see these fun paper fibers. So see that here? And so I did not pull the middle apart. You certainly could pull this whole thing apart, but I did not. I just wanted the top, the edge of it pulled apart, right? And I really honestly kind of liked it a little bit torn where it looked weathered because I felt like it doesn't have to be perfect. It's kind of an artistic, you know, card with the bird and that sort of thing. So that to me was absolutely perfect. I did the exact same thing with the old olive. I'm going to do with the balmy blue. And I just kind of picked up some of that ink and moved around and just added some color in here. So that's what you can do to kind of, you know, bring out some more of that color and that background, because I felt like as cool as it was a little flat. So I felt like this really kind of enhanced it. And don't be afraid to kind of get color like on the insides here too, right? I mean, because that's just going to bring it to life even more, which I think is pretty cool. You know, just kind of get in there and add that color. So I know that I think my Grandma Gertie is in here. So hello, Grandma Gertie. I got a call right before I went live and my son's like, Mom, Grandma Gertie needs the link. She wants to watch tonight. And so that was also kind of a part of the scramble. And so I hope that he checked and I hope that you were able to get on there, Grandma. We just love you to pieces and we just had a ball with all of those cards that y'all sent her. So I can't thank you enough. And I know that Grandma doesn't know how to do the chat in here, but from the bottom of her heart, she felt so loved and she couldn't believe that she received cards from Mandy in Australia and just from all over the country, like, wow. And she has been holding those near and dear to her heart. And I said, are you taking those for your friends to see? And she's like, well, I want to enjoy them for a little while. I don't want anybody to touch them or have anything happen. So she's just so thrilled. So thank you to all of you who sent her that love in the mail and that paper hug. I did film a video. And now that I'm feeling better and we can kind of get caught back up, I will post that on my YouTube channel for you to see. It will warm your heart just how much she loved getting all of those cards. So, okay. Let's go ahead and set this aside. You kind of get the gist of this. The more you work on it, the more kind of textured and fun it will be. And then I have my bird. I'm going to stamp my bird over here. This is my watercolor paper for the bird. And we're just going to ink that up really, really good. Okay. And I'm going to move kind of around my stamp pad and get that inked up really good. And then I'm going to add my bird. Okay. And again, if you have a placement tool, oh, wow. Oh my gosh. That bird is so beautiful. I don't think you need to do anything more with it. Holy moly. I said that last time too. That is so pretty. Now, you definitely want to stamp your sentiment, right? But again, I just want to show you the technique before we kind of move on. You know, just again, you know, wispies kind of out to the side, focusing on your edge, right? Just focusing on the edge, and just sort of trying to bleed that image. You don't want it to be perfect, you know, because it wouldn't normally be perfect if it were burnt in there. So, and I do, like I said, like some of the white in there. So by kind of moving around a little bit, and I am not squeezing this water painter. Remember, I picked up just a little bit of water from my little bowl here. And then I also have a paper towel in case I have grabbed too much. I can just kind of dab it off a little bit. Yeah, so here we go, just kind of moving around. And, you know, like I said, I've tried this with different stamps, and I think you're going to love doing this. I really do. I think you're going to enjoy it so much. And remember, you can take a little bit more water, and if you feel like you want to kind of, you know, blend out some of this, you certainly can. However, once you emboss it, it kind of takes care of itself, really. Okay? So that kind of shows you that image. All right? And then after I put my card together, here's what I came up with. Oh, and I haven't shown you this. Yes, oh my gosh, my wheels were spinning and I had to keep going. Holy moly, do you have to do this? Absolutely not. This was Brandy's wheels just going because I love doing this so much, and I love sharing with you guys, and I always hope that you take a little something that you can use in your own crafting. So I just used my scissors like this, and I literally went down my paper and really sort of roughed it up. Now it does kind of shed a little bit of paper fibers. Be very careful, right? We used to sell a tool that would do this. Stampin' Up used to. I hope one day they will bring it back, but I'm sure there are other tools out there that also kind of do this. And let me show you under the camera. So I'm just kind of going like this, and you see how it sort of roughs it up a little bit, fusses it up. Oh yeah, I love that. I just think that's the coolest. Yep. And so I like it when it doesn't look perfect, right? When it looks weathered and worn. And so then we would layer that up. Of course, you would do your sentiment, emboss it, and then that's when you would end up with this card. And I added my textured gem here, and then on the inside I thought, well gosh, how fun would it be to kind of finish it with some worn paper on the inside. Now I want to show you the envelope, and I don't think I showed you the envelope for the first one, so I'm going to go back and do that. I'm going to just set that aside because I will finish that later. So this is from like our assortments collection. It's not called assortments anymore. It's called the Subtles designer series paper. There's like 4 different designs or something along those lines. I definitely use this paper a lot. And I actually used it for my deer the first time. And excuse me, and then I started working with this beautiful Seasons of Gold designer series paper, and I ended up liking it with this piece. So my original, my original card had the Regals, which had the old olive in it. But then I started working with this paper and I was like, holy moly, this is phenomenal. So I can't wait. I'm going to hopefully make some cards this weekend using this designer paper to share with you. Do you see how beautiful that is? And it's got that beautiful, oh, do you see? Oh gosh, look at that one. So pretty. You may have seen this online. Online exclusives just means that it's online only. So the only place you're going to find it is online through my online store. Stampin' Up! Is not going to print it in any publication. That's all that means. Oh gosh, isn't that gorgeous? So some of you may have already ordered some of this paper, and if you have, I hope that you are enjoying it. It is absolutely gorgeous. Off the charts gorgeous. So here you go. This is the envelope, and it was that designer series paper that I used. All right, so the last card that I have for you today, actually I'm going to kind of come over here and look and say hi. Lori says, so happy Grandma Gertie had a wonderful day and enjoyed her cards. Oh, did she ever have an amazing day? It was awesome. Hi, Susan. The paper is so inspiring. Yes, it is very inspiring. I mean, you can't help but just like, wow, when you see it. It's so beautiful. Hi, Miss Susan. Hello there. All right, so let me show you the last card I have today. I'm not going to make it for you because it's the exact same process, but I do have a tutorial available for you. So here's the next one. This one is also the frosted forest. And does that not feel like warm and rustic? Gosh, I love like cabin homes and things like that, and it just feels so warm and rustic, and I just loved it. And then I had an extra piece of designer paper. I decided to kind of put it in here just for some interest. You know, you could do so many things on the inside, right? But sometimes you just don't need to do a whole lot to kind of dress it up. And then on the envelope, I used the same designer series paper and just added it to my envelope so that it, so that it kind of really tied in together well. Now, I have one more card for you, and I think the stamp set I used was Lovely Tree, maybe? I'm not sure exactly what that's called, but I didn't really get to play with it as much as I would have liked. But I thought it turned out beautiful. So if you have this stamp set, you will recognize it. And I think that you should give it a go. So here, Loveliest Tree. Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate that. So this is Loveliest Tree. And I just put some, I had some scrap of wild wheat. And so I thought, I'm just going to put that behind there because it definitely has that kind of feel to it, doesn't it? That kind of, winter, autumn type of feel. So here, let's bring all of these cards back in. I would love to hear which one you like best. And of course, if you're new to BrandysCards, please make sure and say hi to everybody. And thank you for joining us. And I hope that we have inspired you with all of this goodness and that you will give these a try. Now, remember, I did share with you that we have some PDF tutorials that are available for you. So you've got the big color pictures, which I love when I'm creating. And then you've also got the dimensions, and you have a full tutorial. So you're going to be able to find that on brandyscards.com, okay? And /blog, and you're just going to look for this blog post, and it should be there. All right. So before I go, for those of you that purchase with me, I just want to say thank you so much for being a valued customer of BrandysCards. I'm so grateful for you. And yes, it's that time of the year when I'm working on my list for the holiday catalog. It's the holiday mini catalog. That catalog is going to ship probably around August 8th, 9th, 10th, somewhere in there. And if you have made a purchase with me, BrandysCards, in the past year, you will be on my list to receive the catalog. So right now, all of my customers should already have the current annual catalog. And if you're new to BrandysCards and you don't have a demonstrator, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'd love the opportunity to help you and of course earn your business. So be sure that you send me your address when you request a catalog. But the holiday catalog will be shipping soon. So excited. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. So very much looking forward to that. So that is coming up. And then of course, bonus days are going on right now. For every $50 you spend, you get a $5 coupon. That coupon is good for August. So that'll be great. You can redeem those coupons in August, and you can redeem as many as you would like. So if you haven't taken advantage of bonus days, be sure to do so. We've only got about 10 days or so left. Can you believe it's middle of July? Like, where has time gone? Oh my gosh, it's kind of crazy really when you think about how fast it goes. But all right, so I did, like I said, I received some beautiful cards, and if it's okay with y'all, I'd love to take some time and share them with you. They're so beautiful. I love all of the cards that I receive, and so I just pulled a few off my shelf, and I thought, gosh, I'm gonna share them with you, and hopefully on the next video we can share some more. Okay, so here, let me show you these beautiful cards. This one is from Miss Webra, and isn't that beautiful with that lavender suite? And Miss Webra, this is a sympathy card for my father, and I'm so grateful for your love and prayers, and I appreciate you sending me this beauty. And look at that. I love how she did her envelope and her little stamp there. So really, really pretty. This one is from Rosemarie. Look at that piece of work of art. I mean, that is just beautiful. If I turn it to the side, sort of, you kind of get the different angles and glow. And then this one is from Miss Loretta. Yes, and Miss Loretta Pearson is in here with us right now. And your cards are so beautiful. You are so talented. And I'm just so grateful to be a recipient of them. So thank you for that. And oh, look at those blue gems. Aren't those just beautiful the way they sparkle? Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Now this one is Miss Terry. Terry, I just thought this was the coolest card, and it took me a second to kind of get I want to try to make one of these. I think it's really, really cool, these shutter type cards. And so look at that. Wowzers, Miss Terry. That is pretty fantastic. Wow. So I just thought that was really neat, and I just wanted to share that with you. And then this one is from Miss Tara Oakley, and just another really beautiful, beautiful sympathy card. And I will definitely save those for sure. For sure, for sure. And I'm so grateful that that you sent one my way. And you can see she stamped her envelope. I love how she did that. So it just really kind of dressed it up. And then here's a beautiful one from Grandma Jane. I just love you to death, Miss Grandma Jane. And I had the privilege of talking to Miss Grandma Jane the other day on the phone, and it just makes my heart so happy. She is just wonderful, and I'm just so grateful for her and for her business and her friendship. And so thank you for that card. Oh, and look at her fun envelope. How cool is that? I like that. Beautiful. And let's go look and see if there's a couple more here. Oh, there are. So I have one from Miss Nancy Black. And so just another really fun. This one's got some pearls in there. Just really, really neat, and kind of enhances that embossed background. And then the last two that I have here are Miss Jessica Norris. Oh gosh, isn't that the cutest? I just love these little animals. They are so fun, just for you. And so she sent me just a really beautiful note, and I just really appreciated it and loved it so much. So really, really cool. And then the very last one is from Miss Ruth Standifer. And look at that for a Independence Day card. Wow. Isn't that so cool? God bless America. I just thought she did a brilliant job on that, didn't she? So thank you, Miss Ruth. You are so talented, and I'm just so grateful to receive your cards. Okay, everyone, I think that's it for me today. I hope that you've enjoyed my projects today. If you haven't done so already, be sure to like and subscribe. And of course, if you don't have a demonstrator, you need catalogs. If you have any questions, just go to brandyscards.com/contact. And it's there that you can send me an email. I'd be happy to help you in any way that I can and answer your questions. I hope that you give my projects a try this weekend. They're a lot of fun, and you know, and if for some reason your mojo's not getting you, just set it aside and come back another day, and I promise you, you can pull it together. Miss Amanda proved that one to me, so you can do it too. And keep sending your cards. They don't have to be perfect. Those paper hugs in the mail mean so much to the people that receive them. I can tell you that for sure. So send your cards, send your love in the mail. We need to do that now more than ever. So thank you for loving card making as much as I do, and for being here with me tonight, and for supporting me here at Brandy's Cards. Take care, everyone. God bless. Bye.